For days after their unexpected reunion at the school, Ryan found himself thinking more than once about Maya, about the way she smiled shyly when she talked about helping others, about the soft determination in her eyes despite all the storms she clearly carried inside. Yet he never expected their paths to cross again the way they did. It happened the following week, on an evening that threatened rain. Ryan was standing outside Lily's school, holding a small umbrella and waiting for her class to be dismissed. The sky growled softly above the buildings, and he could smell the coming storm. Kids rushed out in groups, laughing, splashing in puddles forming on the sidewalks. And then he saw Jacob running, small backpack bouncing, his laughter echoing across the courtyard as he headed straight for Maya, who stood 10 feet away, except something felt off. She was pale, one hand pressed against her ribcage, as though she was in pain. Before Ryan could think, she swayed. He dropped the umbrella and sprinted toward her just as her knees began to buckle. He caught her right before she hit the ground. "Maya! Hey, look at me! What happened?" Her breath came in shallow gasps. I'm fine. Just dizzy. Didn't eat since morning. Long shift." Jacob panicked, tears filling his eyes. "Mama? Mama, wake up." "I'm here," she whispered weakly, forcing a smile. "Mama's okay." But she wasn't. Rain finally broke, pouring hard, drenching all three of them. Teachers rushed kids inside, parents hurried away, but Ryan focused only on her trembling hands, her soaked hair sticking to her face, the quiet exhaustion in her eyes. "Come on," he said firmly. "You're going to the clinic." "No," she protested. "I can't afford." "You're going," he said, voice steady but soft. "Let me help. Please." She didn't fight again. Maybe she was too tired, maybe she finally trusted him. Ryan carried her to his truck while Jacob clung to his mother's hand. The drive to the clinic was silent except for raindrops hammering against the roof and Maya's uneven breathing. When they reached the clinic, the doctor checked her vitals and ran a few quick tests. Ryan waited with Jacob in the hallway, comforting him as best he could. After what felt like an hour, the doctor stepped out. "She's severely fatigued and dehydrated. Hasn't had proper meals in days. Stress can do that. She needs rest and support." Those words hit Ryan hard. Support, something Maya had barely had for years. When she was finally discharged, she apologized repeatedly as they walked out into the now quiet night. "I didn't mean to cause trouble. You've helped us enough. I don't want to be a burden." Ryan stopped and faced her. "You're not a burden. People help each other. That's how life should be." Her eyes shimmered in the streetlight, and she looked away quickly, hiding the emotion rising inside her. "I'm just not used to someone staying." He understood that more than he wanted to admit. He drove them home again, but this time he didn't leave immediately. Jacob invited Lily for playtime. Lily eagerly agreed. And inside that small, worn apartment, Ryan noticed the peeling paint, the broken lamp, the fridge that hummed in a struggling tone. But Maya kept it tidy, warm, full of a quiet dignity. They talked while the kids played. Slowly, carefully, like unfolding pages of a book neither had opened in years, she told him about losing her husband 2 years ago to an accident. About juggling 2 jobs. About going without meals so Jacob could eat. About crying silently at night so he wouldn't hear. He told her about losing his wife, about raising Lily alone, about learning to be both mother and father, about the nights he sat beside his sleeping daughter and wondered if he was enough. 2 wounded people, sitting across a small table, learning that broken doesn't mean unworthy. It was late when Ryan stood to leave. Lily hugged Jacob goodbye. Maya walked them to the door, her hand lingering slightly on the frame. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice almost breaking. "For seeing me when no one else did." "Anytime," he said. "And I mean that." In the days that followed, something shifted, quietly, naturally. Ryan started dropping by after work with extra groceries because I bought too much. Maya insisted on cooking dinner for both families because it's only fair. Lily loved Maya's gentle nature, and Jacob adored Ryan's silly jokes. Soon, the 2 families blended seamlessly, their evenings filled with laughter, warm meals, and the comforting sense of belonging. One night, after the kids had fallen asleep on the couch while watching cartoons, Ryan and Maya stood in the kitchen cleaning up. She glanced at him, studying him, saying nothing for a long moment. "You came into our lives like a miracle," she said softly. "It wasn't a miracle," he whispered. "Just a moment. One choice. A choice, she repeated, smiling faintly. That changed everything. Ryan stepped closer, not touching her, just close enough for his warmth to reach her. I'm not going anywhere, Maya. Not unless you tell me to. Her breath caught, this time from emotion, not exhaustion. She looked up at him, and for the first time in years, she allowed herself to hope. Stay, she whispered, and he did, because sometimes life gives us a moment, a tiny one, born in a grocery store aisle, and that moment grows into something bigger than pain, bigger than fear, bigger than survival. It grows into love, and in that small apartment, with 2 children asleep and 2 hearts learning to heal, a new family quietly began. Not because they planned it, but because kindness started it, and love finished the rest.